Hello again, everybody. This is the second screencast of our first week together, and I'm getting into the course concepts a little more this time. And let me start with what you'll need to view and listen to Wednesday, or for Wednesday anyway. These are video clips of the work of 5 famous stand-up comedians. They're fairly short. I think the Dave Chappelle one's the longest one, but it doesn't run really long. And I hope you enjoy them. And except for this one, the others have a closed caption option, the little CC button, which is really handy because you can see the words that they're speaking, just in case you want to quote anything, which you will want to do anyway for the discussion coming up, at least the Wednesday part of the discussion. The Monday part you will have done by the time you're hearing the screencast, I'm guessing, or be close to it anyway. So you're going to ask yourself, course in critical thinking, evaluating arguments, what are these doing here? Let me take you through the concept of the course. What jokes and arguments have in common is their common structure. That's no accident. People make sense of things in certain ways, in an argument, and nonsense in the same way in a joke. Sense and nonsense. But what they have in common is they are organized pretty much the same way. This is because of the way people's minds work. Reasons and conclusions, as you started to see in chapter 1 in a rule book for arguments. So a work of comedy will have the structure of an argument, even though its purpose will be different. And whether it's a lot different, we'll get to later, that might not be a huge difference because jokes often are making fun of something for a reason. More on that later. But all the elements of argument are there. The only thing that's different is you're going to laugh at the end of a joke, or you might not at the end of an argument. But that's about it. So that's what these have to do with everything. And you'll see from the reading you did in Rule Book of Arguments that there is a discrete structure to argument. And by the way, that's just an introduction to general arguments. It breaks down into special types of arguments, but chapter 1 is a good primer on where we're going, because it does have a few things you need to pay attention to. Also here on useful terms, here on the modules page, you'll see a few things you've already seen before in the reading from Weston's A Rule Book for Arguments, a premise. And I've just taken that from Weston. And a conclusion. A premise leads to a conclusion, at least one premise. And a little bit on appeals, especially that one, I think, where we're going to start. You'll see that on the discussion. And then basic joke structure. A joke has a premise. Sometimes they call it something else in humor. They'll call it an opener, but it's a premise. And the next premise, the one that goes before the punchline is what triggers the laughter. It's often called a setup line. It can be a premise by itself or connect a premise to the punchline. So let's take a quick look at the discussion that is coming on for the second part of the week. And there it is. Now, as you may have already encountered, we talk a little bit about a joke that I quoted for you here, and Rulebook for Arguments, Introduction, first chapter, General Rules, where he defines the premise and the reason. Those are really important, key to this week and really the rest of the course. If you miss these, you're going to be lost. And I'll come looking for you and try to rescue you. Now, as you see for the next installment, you're going to use a joke by one of the 5 comedians. So that's what I was talking about when I said that closed caption option on the YouTube videos of each of their routines. It's kind of handy because you'll be able to see the words, makes it easier to quote a joke. And of course, there's the response to a classmate's posting. Typical of all of our discussions, there'll be 2 postings and a response to a classmate's posting. Sometimes it'll be for Friday's posting, sometimes it'll be for Wednesday's. Just keep an eye out for it. And that means 3 contributions if you count the 2 postings plus the response. That makes the discussion all work, and it keeps it lively, and it keeps it thought-provoking and interesting and engaging, I think. So that's it. And I should probably end this screencast on the assignments page. And you'll see that you had reading questions. Tuesday on basically the content of the first screencast. And then a little bit more for Thursday's screencast, which is where we are right now, what I'm doing, that screencast. And that will take you further into the reading questions. But you will want to do this, cheat. That's right, cheat. All of these quizzes are open book. So open the book, get it on another browser screen like this so you can refer to it as you get to the questions. And once you open it, I'll switch over to how it would. See, it's not open yet because you haven't arrived here yet. But when you do open it, you will see the quiz instructions. Don't read through them too quickly. And then you'll see the questions. And there are just some questions on that short chapter related to what we're talking about now, comedy as argument. So I hope you have a good experience with this, and I'll be looking forward to seeing how you will do. So have a good rest of the week.